Home medical device. What is SaMD? Software as a medical device, SaMD, a complete guide. According to 21 CFR 862 or 866, a SaMD is a software that has received FDA approval as a medical device or as a CLIA-waived device. A SaMD might contain digital tools like electronic health record systems that assist AME workflow procedures like reading patient reports or gaining access to electronic medical records, or mobile applications that allow data sharing. SaMD includes software that satisfies all three requirements. It includes particular elements called for by regulatory bodies for safety and efficiency. In accordance with the necessary rules and regulations, it must undergo testing and certification by an approved agency. The producer must offer proof that they adhere to these rules. HIMSS, Healthcare Information and Management Systems Society, created the term SaMD in 2009. SaMD is a software component of a medical device or system, but it does not meet the criteria of an electronic health record (EHR). SaMD does not collect patient data or provide users access to their own medical information through the app itself. For example, SaMD could be an app that allows users to track their blood pressure over time. The IMDRF classified SaMD into three types based on the software's complexity and potential risk to patients. Type 1 SaMD is a low-risk software application that has a low probability of harming patients and performs simple functions like fitness tracking apps and apps for managing minor symptoms. Type 2 SaMD is a moderate-risk software application that is more complex than Type 1 and has a higher probability of causing harm to the patient if it malfunctions. Examples include clinical decision support software and medical image analysis software. Type 3 SaMD is a high-risk software application that is the most complex and has the highest probability of causing harm to the patient if it malfunctions. Examples include software that controls medical devices and software used for the diagnosis or treatment of serious medical conditions. It's important to note that regulatory agencies may have different classification systems for SaMD, but the IMDRF classification is widely recognized. SaMD's growth will accelerate, expanding at a CAGR of 25.6% from 2021 to 2028. Drivers include mHealth's acceptance, chronic illness prevalence, and demand for affordability. COVID-19 fueled this. SaMD is convenient for remote care due to its ability to monitor patients remotely. Technological advancements and patient-centered care demands will also fuel growth. Regulatory barriers and data privacy concerns are obstacles. For U.S. developers, getting a software license from the FDA is easy. Just become an EMDM and register online or through Form FDA 2532A. If your product is on the market, register soon to avoid unauthorized use. If your product doesn't have an FDA ID number, request one. Limit, 35 seconds. Depending on the kind of medical device you will use with your software, you will require different documentation to apply for a software license with the FDA. For instance, if it's an implanted device, you'll need to include details on its design, operation, and safety and efficacy information. You simply need to submit information on the device's design and function if it's not an implanted device and doesn't need pre-market clearance or notice. It depends on your circumstances. Small businesses without venture money or other support will very certainly have to submit their licensing applications. If this is not the case and you have access to grants or investments, some businesses can speed up the procedure by doing all of the paperwork and research for you. Be sure the agency is reliable if you decide to use them rather than doing it yourself. Several frauds out there take advantage of folks who lack knowledge or free time. The FDA issues medical device licenses, which are necessary to commercialize your product in the U.S. The following factors affect how long it takes to obtain a medical device license: the kind of device you're building. For e.g., a Class 2 medical device is easier to acquire an IDE than a Class 3. The advanced clinical study design suggested. Regardless of whether you have previous expertise managing clinical studies utilizing comparable devices or technology. If your SaMD is without an FDA license, stop selling it now to avoid legal consequences. Speak with the FDA to determine if there is a grace period before enforcement. SaMD is seen as a medical device, so FDA authorization is necessary for customary clinical use. Submit a PMA application with details about device creation and security. FDA will examine these details for approval. 35 seconds. We hope you found this article helpful and informative. Keep an eye on this blog post as we will keep adding more information related to SaMD. For any inquiries, feel free to contact us.